It's a lot of stuff has happened this past.
Speaking of back, how's your new job going, Kat?
Oh, it's actually going really good. That was actually one of the reasons I couldn't do Kat Cafe because
I had a feeling.
Yeah, my streaming schedule was perfectly covered by my job schedule, so now I'm gonna have to rework everything, like literally everything, just because of that job. But I finally got one. Woo! Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Kat Cafe, a weekly podcast streamed live on Twitch where we talk about lighthearted topics that'll make you scratch your head or wherever you scratch. Today's topic is part 5 now of the little mini series on Kat Cafe called The Arts. The Arts is a
But you haven't interrupted with a regular episode of Cat Cafe.
Exactly. This is a series.
Normally, you're supposed to do multiple episodes in between the series.
Nah, this is gonna be a one thing go. I'm gonna do one single marathon of the arts, and once that's over, we'll be back to the normal Cat Cafe. But today's topic is the art of literature, which is actually something. Yeah, oh gosh, no. Please, no. Well, we actually... before we start, though, I should mention, none of us here at Cat Cafe are professional experts at any of the subject of the arts that we talk about on this series. This is just us giving our personal views and opinions on the subject, and our throwing our hat in the ring, I guess. We actually do have an actual journalist on the stream today, which I'm sure you've seen before. So, Furry, you actually have worked as a journalist before, so I guess you have a certain hand. You have a bit more weight in terms of today's topic, right?
Just so happen, noticed that it's been exactly a year since I got my job as a journalist.
Oh wow, that's actually really cool. I actually remember when you told me that you finally got a job. I was like, oh my god, I'm so proud of you. And it's already been a year. Wow, time really does fly, huh?
Yeah.
Background noise isn't causing too much trouble, is it?
I haven't heard any background noise at all.
Me
That's
either.
perfect.
Yeah.
That is perfect then.
Yes.
That is just perfect, because I can hear it, but you can't.
Yeah, that's perfect. So yeah, Furry, you actually, you've practiced literature and you've had it as a profession before, so I guess you have a bit more say in the matter than, I guess, me and maybe Bama? I'm not sure if you had any kind of extra expertise in the subject, Bama.
In literature?
Yeah. Like, say, maybe you...
Well, I wrote a book in first grade once. Does that count?
You what? Sorry?
I wrote a book in first grade. Does that count?
I mean...
It was that mandatory. It was like that mandatory something. Like everyone was supposed to write a book and then read it out.
Oh, yeah. I think I know what you mean now.
It was one of those.
You what?
So does that count?
Sorry, I'm just playing the settings a little bit. I mean, I guess it kind of does.
It was horribly written. I would probably never share it again.
No, but it's fine though. I just to anyone watching on YouTube, if you notice, yes, I did play around with the settings, so I am a little louder to you guys on YouTube. Just yes, it's not your headphones, it's me. Just get FYI. So
Someone
is it
wants
your
to show
headphone?
off their new setting.
what? Sorry.
Someone wants to show off their new settings.
No, it's just like I realized that on OBS, my voice was not it wasn't reaching as high a peak as you guys. Oh yeah.
Are you calling my voice squeaky?
Maybe. Yeah. No, I actually finally got my own microphone because I used to use a borrowed one to start off, and I finally got my own. So woo! If you hear me a lot clearer now, it's because of that. Yeah. And then now I gotta get. I want to see if I can get your microphone, Furry.
If I have myself at least a decent PC, my own one.
Your birthday's coming up, so. Oh wait, no, your birthday already passed, right?
It's already passed.
Yeah, I just remembered. I'm sorry.
You owe me a PC.
I owe you a PC, and a microphone, and a
I
headset.
owe you one PC.
I owe you one PC.
Yeah.
You heard it on YouTube, folks.
Oh gosh, here we go. Well, I guess we should probably go into the topic now. Now, what kind of literature, if any, are you guys usually familiar with? Are you used to more classical writings like Shakespeare and I actually can't think of much. Hamilton, and I'm not sure if many of you
Is
have
that a
heard
musical?
Hamilton.
I thought that was a musical.
I think so. Maybe I'm probably butchering. I'm probably saying the one that's not. I'm probably saying the wrong one. But I'm not sure how many of you
We're
are
having a bit of a continuity.
Yeah. So, I know that this is a bit of a more limited audience, but if you're from where I'm from, you probably also heard of Don Quixote, which is a very famous Spanish text. And if you were any kind of Spanish in your school, you've had any kind of Spanish in your school, you've definitely heard of Don Quixote because you had to read it like 5 times in each grade. So you're
I never read that.
Well, yeah, it's usually more. Usually the more Hispanic countries have Don Quixote. It's a very famous text
that
there.
explains why.
Yeah, actually.
Oh, you meant like in reading classes, something like that. In
Oh no! We had to. It was weird because in my old school, like literally every single. Okay, so where I'm from, I'm a native Spanish speaker. So we had a Spanish class, obviously. We had an English class and a Spanish class. And almost every other grade, we would have to reread Don Quixote, but in a more advanced level of reading. It was weird. It was always Don Quixote for some reason. Yeah, no.
I like it sounds a lot like Donkey Kong. Someone was a big nerd.
No, Don Quixote is an old text, my man. Like, that's medieval times text.
No, I meant like someone heard the name and goes, "Oh, that sounds like Donkey Kong. Let's make everyone read this."
Oh gosh, no.
Yeah.
It was actually.
I've been lied to.
So.
You weren't reading it for the historical actors. You were reading it for the historical purposes. You were reading it because it sounds like Donkey Kong.
Well, I will say though, for you guys who haven't read it, I'm not gonna spoil
There
it.
is a giant monkey in the text.
Yeah. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but it's basically the story of a crazy man from that time.
Saw giant monkeys.
No, I mean, he did not see
Saw
that.
giant monkeys that climbed the top of buildings and just threw barrels down at everyone.
Well, Bama, he didn't see that in the story, but if you read the story, you know that that was a possibility. Actually, I'm not even joking. He was very.
Is that how Donkey Kong got inspired?
Oh gosh, nah.
I ruined this.
No, it's fine. But like, what kind of literature are you guys used to, if any?
Oh, I haven't read.
Alright,
I haven't read anything of my own free will since 5th grade.
Okay.
I'm not big on books.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, what about you, Furry?
So I guess my most familiar version of literature is like just
What? Yeah.
online text or something like that. I don't know.
Okay. So, what about you, Furry?
Well, as for me, okay. So just for background context,
Yeah.
I'm Chinese. So back in high school, studying in international Chinese school, but it's basically almost for every other Chinese school. We will always have a certain novels or stories that we.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like a mandatory that.
Oh, like so it's like
compulsory.
Yeah, it's like Don Quixote then.
Yeah, it's a Don Quixote. There are actually a couple of them. Some of them more familiar are like the Journey to the West, the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, and then there.
Oh, I've heard of Journey to the West. That's like a Chinese.
Yeah.
Who hasn't heard of Journey to the West?
Oh, okay, touche.
Who hasn't heard of that and read it at some point if they're like a massive weeb or Chinese?
And it's weird. it's weird that you see a lot of game like Western games apps,
Yeah.
apps and games and all that. You always see well what they
Reference the Journey of
here-
the West.
Yeah, they do.
Yes,
I have
references
seen
of
that a
Journey of the
lot.
West.
Yeah.
I said Journey of. I just realized that. I meant to say Journey 2.
Yeah. But yeah.
What do you mean?
I accidentally said Journey of the West, not Journey to the West.
Yeah. No, but like I
And
understand
then
what
there's
you
also
The West is
So-
journeying.
mean.
and then
Where
there's
it goes,
also
no one knows.
one particular there's one particular novel which they have already kind of just a lot of just doing some editing and all that just because to make it family friendly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was this one particular novel called in Mandarin we call it Jinping Mei. In English, it's almost translated to the Golden Lotus.
Oh, yeah.
In the
For some
original,
reason that sounds familiar.
It does sound familiar.
in the original story itself, it contains like some sexual stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
So they basically have to just cut it a lot.
Yeah.
Basically made a lot of editing, or just they only gave us only a few articles,
Yeah.
just few chapters, the clean ones,
the
for
clean ones.
educational purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as of now, I honestly don't really read like novels as much.
Oh, okay.
But but just as a journalist, of course, you have to be more aware of what has been going on, and what potential information that you can gather from these particular sources. And
Yeah.
expecting kind of like what question would the people would want to know, and how are you going to convey the message
Yeah,
in
and
the proper means. Yeah.
I remember that you told me actually, believe it or not, it was episode 1 of Kat Cafe. You told us about how, journalists usually look for what's new and trending. They don't. I don't think they backtrack very much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do they
Yeah,
backtrack or?
that- they do usually backtrack when there's basically something new or something they want to have a bit more context. Context
Oh,
of
yeah.
certain thing. Mhm.
I get that. Yeah, they usually try to look what happened. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
like what happened, and for example, we're talking about like the recent occurrence in France, which is the burning of the Notre Dame.
Oh man, I feel kind of bad though, cause like I'm a big fan of monuments and historical landmarks, so that one kind of made me sad.
Okay,
Yeah,
real
yeah.
quick
Yeah.
about Notre Dame. You guys all remember Hunchback of Notre Dame, right? The
Yeah,
Disney movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
You remember the climax where it's like molten steel's pouring out of all the aqueducts and everything else is on
Spoilers!
fire around it. Oh yeah, I'm totally good. Everyone's gonna be really mad I spoiled a movie as old as that.
Well, some people haven't seen it, like me.
Well, sorry. Now you know the climax.
Yep.
I won't spoil too much, but
That's fine.
I basically described the scene.
Yeah. Okay.
So theoretically, Hunchback of Notre Dame could survive that. Molten steel and fire everywhere else.
I mean, I guess.
Because the inside was completely unscathed, I heard.
The inside? Really?
I heard the inside was completely, or mostly unscathed at least.
I mean, but the structure.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's just the spire and the like the roof part is just
Oh,
basically
okay.
damaged.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, today was the last day. I heard that they were giving away Assassin's Creed Origins or something for free for, I think it was until today.
Yeah,
At midnight.
they're giving away more away for that because
Actually,
the
was
design-
today last day?
I'm not very certain. Like, but honestly, even if I wanted to, I still couldn't play it.
Yeah.
Like I said,
same here.
you owe me a PC.
I mean, I can probably just pass the game. I don't know. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Probably download it.
So basically, what the reason why that Unity wants to basically do that kind of promo, as you could say,
Yeah.
because the designer from for the Assassin's Creed, I believe it was Unity, if I believe if I'm not mistaken, Unity. They actually did very accurate
Representation.
Representation of the Notre Dame building, both inside and out.
Yeah,
There's a lot of details. So they basically use this as like a blueprint as a reference to rebuild the Notre Dame.
Yeah, it's amazing how they did that too. Like out of all the things they could have used to rebuild Notre Dame, it was a video game.
Hey, they actually
prove that video games are important to culture.
Yes, they actually, believe it or not, I still believe
No
they
one
are.
can hard time video games now because they helped rebuild a monument.
Yeah, true. Man.
And they're hard timing the monument, and they were disrespecting Notre Dame.
Yeah. Also, that's a good point though. Would you say that journalists can be kind of a type of news reporter? Would they count as news reporters, I guess?
I mean, journalist is basically the same meaning as reporters.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I'm not too aware with the definitions of the word, so yeah. I'm sorry.
It's just that depending on what type of journalist you are.
Oh,
and
okay.
There's a bit of a controversy in terms of like the professionalism of certain types of journalism.
There's always gonna be that.
One of them being the game journalists.
Oh.
Like the ones that were doing the reviews of games.
Yeah.
Like, okay, here's one of the dilemma. Do you have to be good at video games to be a gaming journalist?
Yes.
No, I would disagree because you're not.
I would disagree with your disagreement.
Okay, but to be fair,
I'm sorry. Couldn't resist.
It's fine. Yeah, everyone has their own opinion. I just think though that you can tell people about a new and upcoming game, what's going on with the game, what's going on with the community. You don't necessarily have to play it, but you have to I do think you have to research it at least.
Yeah, but if you're gonna claim it's the Dark Souls of its game genre, you kind of need to get the full experience, not just fail the tutorial level. Hint, hint.
Oh. What?
I know what you're talking. I know which game you're talking. Yes, I was just about.
That was just a horrible job.
Well, okay, I do understand that some journalists are very poor. I do their job very poorly, but there's always gonna be that one person that does their job so much poorly compared to everyone else.
It's just that this is more of your
doing his job poorly. That was him just not even trying.
Oh, okay.
He thought this game was gonna be really easy because it looked like a 19-something animation, but then he fails the tutorial level because he's a pleb.
Oh, I know the game you're talking about now.
I'm really burned up about that. It's like you're gonna claim a game's really hard just because you couldn't win the tutorial level.
Bama, calm down. You're getting triggered.
I will never calm down.
He's a Southern American. Not don't forget. He's a redneck.
Oh no, the keys.
Hey, I'm just quoting from the last few episodes. It's in there. It's in there.
Okay.
So
I'm just saying.
But once again, for the folks out there, bonus points if you understand which game we're talking about.
I mean, at this point, it's kind of obvious
why Bama was so defensive about it. Okay, and then the other type of journalist, which is there's this kind of a gray area to it, which is citizen journalism. Like now that everyone has social media, everyone has smartphone, everyone has, let's say, Facebook, Instagram, and all that, Twitter, and they would basically can be like a reporter by themselves. It's just that without with no actual
Yeah.
professionalism or no standard operating procedure or whatsoever. It's just that okay, I can take photos, I can take videos, I can write stuff. What is happening on the spot?
Actually,
Which
I'm going to
Mhm.
I'm gonna use the opportunity that you're an actual journalist, like an actual licensed journalist, and I'm gonna ask you your opinion on that. What is your opinion on quote unquote indie journalism?
indie. Oh, you mean the indie?
Yes, you
Like those
just said
individual
you
ones.
described citizen journalism. I just said like it's. I would imagine it's kind of a quote unquote indie version of journalism. Would you agree?
There are yeah, there are good
It's like
good
writing a
and bad.
journal. It's like writing a newspaper for yourself.
Well, not for
Yeah, it's
yourself,
kind of
but
like that, but yeah, it's kind of like for yourself, like kind of a personal diary. It said that this diary is not so much personal. You're like you're writing
yeah.
about your bad day, but everyone knows your bad day.
Oh, okay, okay, that makes sense.
It, then there are a lot. Personally, I would find that there's a kind of a gray area. There are good, just good and bad ones. It's just
Oh,
depending
okay.
on if they know if they're actually like neutral about neutral when in terms of saying on different their own parties. But most of the time they are very defensive. Like they're more
Yeah.
biased
Oh, okay.
in
Yeah.
they are biased in towarding on one side because mainly because they wanted to kind of feel good about themselves.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like
Yeah.
for example, like give an example. Let's say that foreign there's one news about foreign cosplayers were being arrested because they don't have like the permit.
Yeah. Okay.
They don't have the permit. They don't have the visa or the permit to visit the country.
Oh,
And
oh, okay, okay, okay. So,
and basically there are a lot, especially those from the cosplay community. They are very some of them are very defensive about the cosplaying community since that the cosplayers have been getting quite some negative stereotypes or negative views from the general public because of you know what. So they are very defensive about it. Some of them are blaming it was the organizer, the convention organizers' fault for not doing their standard operating procedure. So as a licensed journalist, I basically just see from that standpoint what I do like is from their own opinions and their own the information they can gather to get to see a larger picture of what is happening. And what I don't personally like is most of them are very biased. They are very objective on thing. Despite that, if your word to let's say if you're going to discuss or just to have a healthy argument on something, you have to once again you have to be neutral. There, most of the time that I got were just basically just throwing insults and just throwing insults at me or getting saying that I'm sir being pro to particular to a party and all that. Like, then I thought to myself, aren't you doing the same thing as well?
so would you say citizenship journal or sorry, what's it called? Citizen journalism?
Yeah, citizen journalism.
Would you
They
say?
have.
Oh, sorry.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
If it's a good thing or a bad thing is kind of there's is good and bad. Good because I have more information. I have more of a lively perspective, especially now that you have photos and videos and all that. For example, like I was just getting from the police report, but maybe that person has like say like a CCTV footage, or they were just so happens to be there doing the like the video footage of it. that is good. That is something. That is something that what is good about citizen journalism is they cover everywhere. They have and then you have a very good resource or database around it. What is
Okay.
bad is just of raw, unfiltered information, and it's your job to basically doing the filtering.
But then would you say it's technically? I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but if a bigger journalist, if an official journalist takes information from citizen journalism, then isn't that technically plagiarism?
Actually, no.
Really?
Of course, you need to have permission.
Well, yeah.
Like, of course, like in the actual procedure is that you have, regardless that you wanted to use this footage on, let's say you found in Twitter, for example.
Yeah.
In our news agency company, we or you can use your own personal Twitter account. You can ask the owner of the footage of the content for permission to use that footage to, let's say, to broadcast on live television, or to use it on a newspaper or in their website for article purposes. This is the SOP, which is standard operating procedure for every news agency. In reality, there are actually quite a number of news agencies. They don't really do that, and they just simply, oh, it's available, it's free. I'm pretty sure they don't mind. They just and then they just
Yeah, just
put it
take it.
up on stage, and then
Okay.
they don't really credit them. They just say that, oh, this video was found on Facebook, on social media, and how many shares were there, and so on.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of understand what you mean. So
Because I did attend Google, like a Google course, or like Google journalism course, and they mentioned that it is proper that you need to have permission from the owner of the content first
yeah.
before you can broadcast it.
Well, yeah.
But in reality, it's just, it's
Yeah.
still practice. Whether in the U.S. or in the U.S., Europe, or even here in Malaysia, we don't really do that much because of kind of time constraints, and you see there's a value to it, but you just kind of take it.
Oh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's weird because it is kind of like YouTube, where there is a sacrifice for, there is more content. There's way more content now because of social media, but there is like the sacrifice of quality control. That's always gonna be there.
Yeah, and basically it's our job
to like control it. Yeah. So Bama, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. So I want to ask you a question, Bama. So I take it that you're not exactly fond of reading, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, I'm not. It's not like I will avoid reading if I can help it. I mean, if I did that, then I have some serious problem.
Yeah, I understand. But then,
But
yeah,
I don't necessarily go out of my way to read a book sometimes. I mean, unless it's like really interesting or I have to read it, I just don't read.
then would you say, comics count as books?
Well, yeah, I would, but I mean, not there hasn't been a comic that's caught my interest yet.
Oh, okay. So okay, but maybe a webcomic or something.
I've read short ones, like one of the Overwatch ones.
Oh,
I would have said the Team Fortress 2 ones, but I haven't.
Oh yeah, I need to read those too.
You should totally follow.
I do need to read those.
Yeah, I need to read them too.
I've read those if I come across them on stuff like my Pinterest.
Oh, okay. I actually read one. Which one was it? I think it was the good,
Deep
the bad.
Inhale.
No, it was like, I think it was the good, the bad, and the naked. I think it's a TF2 comic. I forget what it's called.
Oh.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, the one where the
Where
Australian.
they're covered in honey.
Oh yeah.
Is that
That's
the
so,
one? I can't remember.
Do not worry,
that
Scout.
was Soldier and Heavy Sister.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah, I
believe that
think
was
so.
Heavy
it was.
Sister.
Those are weird.
Man, what are they doing late at night?
Those are weird comics, by the way. Just saying to anyone interested in reading them. Those are weird comics, so get ready for anything. Just like the game.
Well, I do. Yeah, but going back to web, one of the there are actually quite a number of web comics that I've been following. One
Okay.
of which is I'm pretty sure you've been following on Instagram as well, which is Pixie and Brutus.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love those. They're so.
Oh my
freaking
god. Yes, especially like the recent one. Oh my god, I really need to know what happened.
Cute.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. Have you seen it? It's basically.
No.
Who was the...
That.
It
No
was already
no spoilers.
okay, but basically there's a okay. Basically, I can talk about this. It's just basically talking about being being bully and being a pushover. So
Oh
it is
yeah.
it is up to Brutus to basically to tell someone to man up or dog up.
In a way.
This contact.
In a way. But okay. What do you
Why
think
does that remind me of something?
now?
Animals saying that they're not supposed to be bullied, or people aren't supposed to be bullied. What does that remind me of?
My
I
Little
think...
Pony.
Oh gosh. Hey, Christian.
Oh man.
No, okay. I have a weird
No,
question
not that.
though.
I was talking about Cool Cat, dadgummit.
Yeah. I have a
Remember
weird...
that meme?
I have a
Oh
weird
my
question.
God.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. All right.
I have a question for you, for both of you, really. Do you think comics are more? Do you think they're more of a visual art, or do you think they are more of a what would you call it, like?
Literature.
Literary art. Do you think they're more of a literary art, or do you think they're more of a visual art?
Webcomic?
Well, comics in general, really. Comics, manga, all this kind of
A little
stuff.
bit of both. They're the perfect blend of both.
Okay, so you're 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, people say that books with pictures are on a lower reading level, I guess. But
I mean, I don't do
if the story's good and all the dialogue's written well, why would you consider it lower?
I mean, I guess
The
it's.
pictures just help you fill out the scene.
I think it's more of a preference though, because I think some people prefer to imagine the scene rather than actually just have it presented to them. Because okay, your imagination is really powerful, and I got like a lot of. I was a big fan of Stephen King back in the day, especially the Gunslinger series of novels, and those had like
With some horror books, I guess the imagination can be helpful. But when it comes to people like me, whose imagination can take something and do something really weird, like suddenly turn it into a bouncy cartoon from the 19 somethings, I like having more direction.
No,
I'm not kidding. Once I read Percy Jackson books,
Oh my
and instead
God.
of seeing something that was like realistic or something, everything was like 2D animated for some reason. Every time I visioned it, I'm like, why? Stop.
It's more of a preference thing, really. It's just personal preference in terms of would you rather have it shown to you or would you rather imagine it yourself, kind of thing. Some people prefer manga and comics because they like knowing exactly what the characters look like. I personally I like both. I've read actual books. I've gotten hooked on a novel series. I've gotten hooked on mangas. I got hooked on comics. I appreciate them both equally. They're both their own respective art forms. And I do agree with you on that, Bama. They are kind of a good combination of both. Now, I want your opinion on this, Furry. What do you think of them?
I personally think that comics is more of visual art because I think there are couple of comic series. There are no words at all. They're basically very simple images. When they want to do dialogue, they basically do symbols of basically symbolism. so that it's more of a international language, like everyone can understand it. But there are no words, there are no like any character languages or alphabets or characters whatsoever, because uh, if I'm not mistaken, that comic series, the artist is a Thai. Basically, it's from Thailand. So to make it more internationally known, he uses a very smart move. Is that they basically use symbols you see in the everyday life as dialogues.
Oh, okay,
So
that's
that
interesting.
everyone would know. And since comic itself, you can't really do comics without any visualization of something. That's why we have cartoons and all, because the color itself will be more appealing.
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking about literacy art, it's more of imagining, let's say the Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Oh my God, I'm going to get killed by Potterheads. Harry Potter.
There you
Not
go.
Porter. Potter. Lord of the Rings, and my personal favorite back in the day in primary school and high school was the Mr. Midnight series.
I'm not familiar with that one.
The Mr. Midnight is always you know this basically Mr. Midnight just talks about there's a lot of series basically talking about different types of monster creatures and all that, and
Oh, like the Tales from the Crypt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in a way, is there are very minimum art, very minimum art. They don't really show you the creature itself. Just very just kind of like a little adding that so values.
Little tangent on that though. I really do prefer it when a writer or an artist or a comic artist or whatever director. I really like it when they don't show you the monster till the end, because I think that lets, like what I was saying about the imagination though. I'm not kidding. Like people, for those of you who don't really read books that much, you probably don't get it. But your imagination is very powerful. So when you can't see the monster, you start imagining it as everything and anything that can be and will harm you. Like you start imagining a monster so horrendous that no visual can ever meet your expectations. Like, have you ever seen a horror movie where they don't show the monster till the very end, but you kind of get disappointed by the monster by the end? Has that ever happened to you?
I think there's one recent movie. Is it considered a movie? I'm not sure. I would just call it a film. A film then.
Yeah.
Which the recent one, which is Bird Box.
Oh, I haven't actually seen Bird Box.
Okay, but throughout the whole film itself, I have never seen, but I kind of just kind of spoil myself.
Don't spoil it for others though.
But they basically basically the monster was never shown. The viewers did not see what the monsters looks like.
Oh.
But in the film in the film itself, what they say is that when you hear something, just tell me and all that. But do not take off their blindfold. They have to be just completely blind all the way to seek sanctuary.
Oh yeah, that's in the trailers.
Yeah. It's basically, I'm telling you from the trailers, okay?
Okay.
But basically, in the scene itself, it's just that whoever sees the creature itself would want to kill themselves.
That's from the trailers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's from the trailers.
Yeah, that's from the trailers.
Yeah.
That's basically kind of like concept. What's interesting is that throughout the whole series itself, the monster was not shown.
And that's actually really good because it gives your imagination something to play with. I keep insisting on the idea. Please, okay, if there are any authors in the audience, if there are any writers, any screen directors, anything, please let the imagination do a lot of the work. Trust me, you're gonna get so much farther.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, like seriously, it's so amazing how what you can imagine sometimes. Like, my gosh.
But there are a lot of perks when it comes to comparison between books and movies. Is that the movies itself don't really show all of what the book has read. For one big example would have to be the Harry Potter series. Harry Potter series.
Yeah.
Is that there are, from what I've been told from a couple of my Potterhead friends, is that they were quite disappointed because there are of the movie itself, because there are a couple of details from the book was not shown in the video in the movie.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to get the full the
Full experience.
full big picture, full experience, get the book.
Yeah. And there was like, there were like some things like in the book a certain character would say something very softly, but in the movie they would scream it. I remember those kinds of memes back in the day, and I would just laugh because it was true. Like sometimes I would read, I'd never read the whole series of books, but I would just read like that small bit, see if it was true, and it was true. Like the character in the book would just say like super softly and be very quiet, and then you just see the movie and the character screaming at the top of their lungs. Yeah. No, I'm not even joking. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, how can a director... I don't know, I guess they would try to make it more... They're trying to make it more visually interesting, but at a certain point...
It's my style.
Oh my gosh, no. Yeah, but at a certain point, like, come on, man. You gotta stick with books. No.
I mean I guess they can't just simply, plagiarize the whole thing. I guess that's one thing, I suppose.
I mean, it's not...
Sorry, I disappeared for a bit.
That's fine. Well, is it plagiarism?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
You were mentioning like talking about the differences between the books and the movies, especially like in tones of voice.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing a video one time talking about Stephen King's It, and the book is like he's up on the balcony and he did a terrifying shriek, and in the movie it's like I'm like, really? Is that different?
Yeah.
It was so weird, the contrast.
Oh gosh, I can imagine.
You have Prince Albert in again.
Yeah, I mean...
You do? Leave it on the floor out.
I mean, they had to leave a lot of stuff out of it. I saw the book and there were some parts that were a little bit more mature. I was like, oh my god, Steven, why? I think I know what I think everyone knows what I'm talking about, but I'm not gonna mention it.
You're talking about that. Never mind. I'm not even.
No,
I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but
it's better we don't
I
mention
kind
it.
of know what you're talking about because they mentioned it in like there was like a Nostalgia Critic reviewed the new one.
No, don't mention it, because like it's
I forget what exactly happened.
Nah, it's fine, but you don't need to know. Keep your brain clean. Keep your brain clean.
I can guess what happened. I have.
Both of
I
you
have
should
common
assume
sense.
our brains are clean.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to protect you guys as much as I can.
Okay, whatever. Anyways.
Nah, okay. Also, what about?
By the way, real quick, I kind of like how Bird Box. Going back to that because I was gone for a bit, but I was still listening.
Okay.
I have my headphones on, making a sandwich.
But hold up.
Anyways, I do like how Bird Box didn't show the monster, yet it showed what it can drive people to do. I loved that.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it, but I mean, I watched a theory about it because I don't really like horror movies, but I like watching videos about horror things for some reason, like theories about it.
Oh, that's also why I really like watching some crime movie and shows, some crime movies and some crime shows. They like
my mom
they don't
loves
show
watching ID.
Yeah, no. Like they set it up so that you see everything they're doing, but you don't realize why you're doing it until the very end, and then everything just clicks. It feels so satisfying seeing everything just click into place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Like when they just
I know.
They just kind of like
I
build
don't know
everything.
exactly what.
I just can't think of a good example right now, but I just do remember that, and it's so satisfying when it happens.
Like
Basically,
you and my
basically
mom
CIA.
get along
Basically
very well.
CIA.
Yeah, CIA kind of stuff. Yeah. And espionage too.
Like-
Sometimes doing espionage where you just see like the pickpocket just kind of going through the whole process, and you're like on the edge of your seat thinking they're gonna get caught, and they just never do. It's so satisfying seeing that.
Yeah, which is why I back then was more really into Sherlock Holmes or Detective Conan, and
Detective Pikachu.
Oh gosh.
oh my god,
I couldn't resist. You said you were talking about detective stuff, and I just couldn't resist.
But I was just like,
Exactly.
who? Okay, little rant here. Who went? Oh, Pikachu, Deadpool. Like whose idea? Whose bright idea was that? No offense to whoever they
Hey,
are.
hey, I think we all know who really should have voiced Pikachu in Detective Pikachu.
Who?
Danny DeVito.
Can you imagine? Just Pikachu walks up to you. Where's the trash?
You gotta eat garbage. I'm the trash man.
I'm Detective Pikachu.
Yo,
Damn it.
yo,
Oh gosh. Oh,
just like
God.
you make. I'm sure you could like make a perfect like Danny DeVito demo reel of stuff he said, but like putting them over Detective Pikachu clips where Pikachu's in the frame talking.
Someone probably already had that. Someone has already probably done that or will do that soon.
Like they've already done some of his other voice line stuff, but I want to see one where it's like they also put in stuff from Hercules from the Disney movie.
Oh gosh.
Where Danny DeVito played Danny DeVito as a satyr.
Oh gosh, that was an amazing movie by the way. That's one of my favorite Disney movies, just gotta say. It was
That
such a good
movie
movie.
made my childhood.
If it's
I
good.
know.
If-
That's
If he's good.
no, it's such okay. I love who
The
voiced
music in it was
who voiced-
phenomenal.
yeah. Who voiced Hades though? His voice acting was amazing.
Let me look real quick. I have IMDb
man.
on my phone, and that is what I'm on right now.
I just
What?
whoever wrote his script, my gosh, give that guy an Oscar. If he if he
Hey, give credit to the voice actor here too. How much
No,
more
no,
of it?
both,
Some
both.
of his
Like, I'm
lines are
getting-
ad libbed.
I'm getting credit to both, but I just don't know if the script was improvised or if it was actually written. Like
I
oh
want
my
to say
gosh.
that I've heard the name of the guy who voiced Hades before. Oh, here it is. James Woods. That's who played him.
James Woods. I haven't actually heard that much of it.
That-
What
That
has,
is who voiced Hades.
has he done a lot more stuff?
Let me see. I'm looking at his other filmography right now.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? You know how some voice actors come
Oh,
with it?
he came back as Hades in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, yeah, I haven't
Came
actually.
back.
I actually haven't played Kingdom Hearts like any of the games, so I can't really relate.
He's also Lex Luthor in a few DC productions, mainly the
Lex
animated
Luthor?
stuff.
Really?
The animated stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like Justice League action shorts, Justice League
Yeah.
action 2016 TV series.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine him as Lex Luthor in like the actual Batman or Superman movie? That would have been such a that would have been such a cooler character.
Oh. But look at this. He also played Hades in Sorcerer's Magic Kingdom, the augmented reality game in Disney World.
That's cool, man.
I'm not kidding. You literally have to go through the park and do this little augmented reality game.
Oh, let me catch you with Disney there though. You have heard that Disney Disneyfied their stories, right? Even before they were animated. Have you
Yeah.
ever actually gone to the original writing of those stories?
You mean like the original source or like the
Like
original
the original source, like medieval times.
script? Yeah, I've heard. I'm like seeing videos talking about like the twisted origins of such and
Yeah,
such.
some of them are really, really twisted.
Yeah, some of them are really
Like,
twisted.
what was going on with literature
Oh,
back
what do you
in?
know? Man, Man, this guy really liked playing Hades because he was in every single version of Hades.
Well,
that
to be
was
fair,
done.
it's to be
At
fair,
least of Disney's Hades.
yeah. To be fair, it's Disney, so I'm sure they need him to be that character.
Yeah, I mean, it was all Disney production, but I
Yeah.
mean, I probably would have gotten tired of it, but he just came back and back and back and back,
Well,
even in Kingdom Hearts.
Well, some people really are into it.
Speaking of Disney voice actors,
Yeah.
can you believe that they made Phil silent in Kingdom Hearts 3?
I
Just
haven't
because
played
the Japanese
game,
voice
so
actor
sorry.
died. Okay, well,
Oh.
Phil, the satyr, in Hercules, he was played by Danny DeVito, but in Kingdom Hearts 3, he's completely silent because the Japanese voice actor died and they couldn't replace him because of
that's
some
sad.
sort. They had a somewhat good reason. But I'm sitting there going, well, if he's been voiced every other time and now he's silent, you're
in a
probably
way,
gonna get
Wait, sorry.
it's a fun fact.
You really clipped out. You're clipping out a lot there, Furry.
Yeah, sorry.
Mm,
Oh, hey, James Woods was a writer once. Falling in Love, Pongo Ponga 2002 short. Odd. That was his only credit as a writer.
Yeah. So
Okay,
I'm still like
Disney.
wondering. Oh yeah, go ahead.
So speaking of Disney movies, like for example, like his Little Mermaid, and all
Furry,
that. Sorry,
Furry, I'm sorry, but you're
Really?
clipping a lot, man. Like so much. I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
Like
I don't mean to
cutting
make
out,
you
then
repeat
going
stuff.
echoey, then shutting down, and then
Yeah.
you come back, echo, shut down.
He needs a Windows upgrade.
I'm using an iPhone, an iOS upgrade.
Oh.
Well, I'm using my headphones. I don't see what kind of excuse you have. I'm on my phone and I'm using headphones. I actually have a decent mic.
Oh god.
I'm actually using my phone as well. Okay, anyways, how about now? By the way,
Yeah, it sounds a lot better.
That sounds a lot. That sounds a lot better.
what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say is, like
And-
for example, Aladdin, Mulan, the Little Mermaid, Hercules, and all that. They're basically coming from some of the children's stories and all that. Have you guys ever seen like the original version of the stories?
Oh gosh. No, I've actually never seen them. I've heard of the messed up things that's happened to them, but that's why I was trying to say, like, my gosh, what the heck is with like these old authors and just these weird topics of like death and all these monsters, and it's just overall very weird.
You want to talk messed up? Look at the original origins of Pinocchio. That guy, I think he was insane.
Yeah.
I believe.
Like he had Pinocchio hanged, eaten, turned into a donkey, all that kind
Oh
of
gosh.
stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what it was with people back in the day. I guess they were just bored.
Actually,
Yeah, so bored they
I believe
wanted to write
if-
about fictional murders.
Yeah. It was weird.
They were the first crime fiction.
Crime fiction.
I believe that one of the most iconic those children's story writer is Les Anderson. Les Anderson, if I'm not mistaken. Quote me if I'm wrong, because I only remember like the Chinese version, which is Les Anderson. He's basically a German writer, and basically a lot of the children.
Oh, Lars Anderson. Yeah,
Oh.
I've heard of him.
Yeah,
Well-
and Anderson. He was Antusen. Yeah, he basically was the one who writes a lot of our some of the children's stories that we know and love.
Oh.
It's just that if we're talking about a German children's story, that is a completely different turn of events. It's basically not as friendly as you think.
Yeah.
like-
Nah, it's. Oh yeah, there was.
Okay. So when you talk about Christmas, with what's the first person that you can think of?
Christmas.
Santa.
Yeah, Santa.
Santa. In Germany, they have Krampus.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I've heard of
I've heard of
I've
that.
heard of Krampus. Yeah.
Okay, first off, who named him?
Yeah. What is this
Oh,
story?
look at the
But yeah, what is the story of Krampus though?
Isn't he like some sort of demon that kidnaps children if they're naughty or something?
Oh,
Yeah,
I think
yes.
so. Yeah, that's what it is. Krampus.
I mean, I kind of got
Yeah.
the gist looking at a picture of the guy.
Yeah, he
That's
is creepy.
Yeah, they basically do that just to show that, just to tell that this is what you're going to get if you being naughty.
Yeah,
This is the huge contrast when it comes to the story, those bedtime story that we used to listen when we were young,
Yeah.
and the story written by in Germany.
Oh yeah. Would you say
Especially-
actually
Make
talk
such
about that?
a
Sorry,
horrible
to
joke about Krampus right now.
sorry sorry about interrupting you, Furry, but I actually have a question for you. Would you count
Yeah.
folklore as literature, as like a form of verbal literature?
I would. I totally would. I know you asked Furry, but I'm just throwing my hat in there.
No,
I
that's
would.
fine. That's fine. I thank you for your
Honestly,
opinion.
I would say yes. Yeah,
Yes?
yes.
Okay.
I would say so myself.
It's a form of literature to you. Okay.
Yeah, it's a form of literature because it's more. It's quite an interesting one because there are a lot of those mythical creatures. Is something that it came out from. Some of them is what we came out from our minds, or what we would think of and trying to write down how to describe of how it says and the behavior and the nature of itself.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Some of them are more interesting. They're based on very vague details. For instance, we're talking about the UFO, the aliens in UFO.
Actually, if it's an alien, it's not UFO because the U stands for unidentified. So.
Fight. Okay, so
So technically, you should be talking about alien spacecraft.
Exactly. A
So-
UFO can be anything, really.
Let me introduce you to my theory about that.
So imagine yourself like back those like 1930s. Let's give an example. 1930s, very old age. You have no idea whatsoever, and then you see you're basically frisbee, okay? Just play, just throwing a bit, and let's say there's just some guy just hiding in the woods, just out of nowhere, just see some random flying objects and just take, and then they just went mentally insane, just going. I saw this flying thing. It's a dish shape in the mid-air, and then it just flew right towards the hills, something along the lines like that.
Yeah.
So much stammering.
No,
The
fine.
stammer's part of his conversation.
No, I mean,
I saw that.
no, don't make fun of
Sorry.
Furry on stream. Don't make me.
No, I mean, I can understand if Furry has a stammer, but I can't tell if he was doing it on purpose or not. Because he's doing it on purpose, he really did it very convincing.
No. Why would we do it on purpose?
Okay,
What?
and
Yeah, you were saying?
so yeah, it's basically giving those very vague details, and they let the writer's imagination just run. What can they evolve and
Yeah.
develop this kind of information that they provide, and it's just getting more involved. Just talking about aliens going to kidnap, invade Earth, kidnap women, and doing some quote unquote probing.
I still wonder what probing
You don't know what that
exactly
really
means.
stands for.
Yeah.
Up after the pod.
Anyway, I do think,
Speaking of folklore,
go ahead.
you will never find, at least not in my opinion, as far as I know, you will never find as many folklore bits in the world except in America. Like there's so many.
Hey,
Paul
Where-
Bunyan,
where I'm
John
from,
Henry.
where I'm from, there's
Appleseed.
so many. There's one called La Llorona, which I'm sure a lot of people are probably familiar.
You mean the new movie?
Oh yeah, there is a. Oh yeah, someone actually is starting to make a movie
The
about
Curse of
it.
La Nangonga. The Curse
No,
of
it's-
the Curse of La Bamba.
You know, it was weird because they were usually, I don't know why, they weren't. The weird part, you know what the weird part is? They're not actually to scare children. They're just there. Like, I'm not sure where they come from. They just are there, but they're not like trying to scare us or anything. They just exist. Like there's La Llorona, there's
Well, that
Ojo
sounds more
Ro-
like a. That sounds more like a myth.
yeah, like a
Similar to
legend.
Greek myth,
It's like Loch Ness monster kind of thing.
sort of.
Yeah. There's Ojo Rojo, which is basically if you're in the woods near a lake and you see a bloody tree, run. Which is just great when you're looking around in the forest, hoping not to see any red trees.
Yeah, I mean, like, why wouldn't you run from a bloody tree? That's already bad.
Yeah, but especially if it's near a lake. That's the point of it. It's weird how many folklores and tales and mythical creatures come from human imagination.
The weirdest one I heard was like, I'm gonna guess it was a different interpretation because I never heard this bit. It was a weird interpretation of Johnny Appleseed, and it was basically them. They set it up as them explaining what all the clouds were in the sky.
Oh. What?
And they're like saying, "Oh yeah, that's just all the apple trees Johnny's planted up in heaven."
Oh, that's a wholesome one.
It is like most of them are wholesome. Like Paul Bunyan, he chopped down some trees, got bested by machines. Now he's up in Alaska.
Nah. We got creepy ones back home. There was actually one too, where supposedly, well, this can get a little graphic, so I'm not gonna say too much. But basically the story is, a protester for the forest was cut in half by accident, and so her spirit roams the forest, protecting it.
By accident?
Who dared?
Yeah, it was a weird, weird deforesting accident. Apparently,
she makes people share her fate and cuts them in half if they dare even touch a tree.
No, I guess it's weird because the story is more directed towards engineering. How do you call this? Like city builders and stuff. Like I don't know why they're weirdly directed to those kind of people who want to deforest back home and just build buildings there.
Yeah, but then here's the problem.
Yeah.
They don't really care.
Yeah, exactly. So like, why did you make a folklore?
Like, why even bother? Just tell them, yeah. Here's the long-term problems of you cutting down these trees.
Yeah,
we don't need any
ghosts.
Something to do with a ghost, and that's something to do with the freaking Babadook, whatever that is. I heard that somewhere.
Yeah, it's like it's weird because
you're going to deprive the Earth of our own oxygen if you keep cutting down all these trees.
You don't need any ghosts. We're gonna be ghosts if you keep doing this. It's true though.
That's how you start off. That's your entry. That's your entry statement.
You don't need a ghost. You'll be a ghost.
And then you go right into the dissertation.
Yeah, basically. It's weird how many literature, tales, and creatures. And have you seen like the old medieval creatures? By the way, there's so many. There's like so many of them. And they're so weird.
I only know the classics. Like, dragons, orcs, goblins.
Also, what is Cthulhu apparently from? That's a Lovecraft story, right? Is that originally from Lovecraft?
Yeah.
Or is that like...
Yeah,
I'm
that's
pretty
Lovecraft.
Yeah.
That's Lovecraft.
Well, I've never actually read the story.
Cthulhu, the squid god.
Apparently, yeah. And there's again Spaghetti Monster, which is apparently just a flying bowl of spaghetti.
Wait, that's a real thing? I thought it was just a meme.
No, it is a real thing. I believe so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Spaghetti.
I thought it was just a meme.
No, Spaghetti Monster is like a real thing. Apparently, like a folklore tale.
All right then.
Yeah, nah, it's weird.
Where'd it come from? Oh wait, let me guess. Italy.
No.
Oh my god.
You don't eat your spaghetti. You better get eating spaghetti bowl.
Bama, please. For Pete's sake.
You're laughing. You love it.
For Pete's sake, Bama. Come on.
No, for spaghetti's sake.
Oh my god. This dude.
Oh mamma mia.
Oh no! Don't you start too, Furry.
Okay. Anyway.
That's it. Yeah.
What I wanted to say is that when we're talking about like the modern folklore,
yeah,
look it up SCP.
Oh my god, I am such a huge fan. I love listening to SCPs.
I've heard of it, and I've only really gotten attached to one. It was more like one of the more wholesome ones, I guess. I actually watched the whole history of SCP. I
how,
was surprised by just how complicated that history was.
how many SCPs are there by
You
now?
you mean
Like the whole
Uh,
history of like the actual
more than-
way SCP came to be popular in real world.
more
not
than
the actual...
2,000? More than 2,000. There are more than 2,000 SCPs, and still growing. By the way,
Yeah,
the
I'm pretty
database
sure it's, like,
is still growing.
it's a pseudo public forum,
Yeah, no, they're
from
like,
what I understand.
they're
It's
like
like you have to be
more-
part of the group to really write an SCP, but
yeah, it's
you can
weird.
join.
It's kind of like a it's like a worldwide Wikipedia folklore kind of tale. It's an interesting phenomenon, but I love it because sometimes they don't even have to be creepy. Like most of the time, they're just kind of interesting. Oh gosh, let me look it up.
I kind of like the one where it's like this one abandoned house, but every
No,
year on
there-
Halloween it gets decorated,
No, yeah,
and the
there's
people inside are like they're just gone after Halloween's over.
no, and there's one.
I just found that
called-
interesting.
There's one called the Coffee Machine. It's not really scary. It's a little creepy, but it's not really scary. It's
Okay,
just
I downloaded an SCP mod for Gary's mod, and I saw the coffee
Oh.
machine, and I think you told me about this before, but I'm just kind of weirded out by it.
no, it is definitely a weird one. It's just I like it because it's not exactly scary.
I don't
and-
even know anything about it. I just know it's a coffee machine.
No, but basically,
Like, oh god, what's this coffee machine gonna do? Does it give you blood?
well, yes, actually.
Blood coffee?
No, I
Oh.
mean, okay.
You mean kind of like those vending machines, right?
No,
Like the
it's kind
one-
of, it's kind of
it-
like it's a vending machine that never runs out, basically, kind of thing.
Like and it also like have
You can give you
these-
anything.
all types of flavors. Just key in the keyboard, right? That one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, the one.
No, I
the
just realized someone
you
can
mean
actually make blood
the
coffee.
one?
They could just like put red food dye in the coffee and it's red blood coffee.
No, but like this machine can actually give you blood coffee. I'm not even joking. You have to type it in.
I know. You told me about the coffee machine before.
Yeah, no, it. I
And
love. Go
you mean
ahead.
that the coffee machine itself is American, by the way. It's from made in America
Oh.
because it doesn't understand what cup of Joe means in cup of Joe means. Like it took it so literally. It actually took it literally, basically.
Yeah, it's definitely not American.
That one
Yes.
kind of made me laugh. I'll be honest. When I heard that part, it's like, oh my god.
Oh look, coffee machine. I'll take a cup of Joe. Hi, I'm Joe. Ah!
No.
No. It was literally just
Oh,
for.
man.
I remember saw a
Don't-
skit
yeah,
where
no.
there was a
Not too many spoilers though.
no skit. I forgot what. Well, basically there was a clean like a British clean janitor. He just basically saw the cup, saw the machine, and it just so happens that the janitor name's Joe.
Yeah.
So when he went to the machine, just type cup of Joe, and then it's basically just for some reason that the janitor just fell down on the inside the room,
Yeah.
unconscious.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And then from the machine came a cup of him.
Yeah, it's definitely an SCP I would recommend you look up, Bama. I mean, it doesn't really,
Man.
it won't really scare you. It just kind of makes you think, which I love. By the way, I love to just imagine.
Once again, it's up. it's
Y'all
up
know
to
I don't think.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I love about it. It's like one of those SCPs that can. It's one of those SCPs that you kind of continue the story like, oh, I wonder what would happen if this happened, or I wonder what happened if I did this and that with that. Would it react like this? Would it react like that? Like it's kind of like a
What would happen
weirdly.
if that one that works like a weeping angel closed its eyes?
Oh, that's a good idea though. That's true.
I actually saw a joke like it. Okay, I was watching one of those stupid T Fortress 2 videos I like to watch, where it's based on like
Yeah.
mod SFM animation.
Yeah.
And it showed up in there, and it was like it closed its eyes very slowly, and
Yeah.
once they shut, it basically jumped up and spun around like it broke its own logic.
It turned
And, like,
into a
closed its eyes and
singularity.
tried to teleport to itself, so it just broke itself.
Yeah. Weeping Angel.exe that stopped working.
Well,
No, but like I love those SCPs that really make you think because the story never really does end unless you want it to. Like I love that. That's the kind of
And
literature
yeah,
I'm into.
and
Walken found the
it's
cowbell.
just keep.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He just ring it.
Gosh.
I need the cowbell.
Oh gosh. No.
And then whatever.
you're going to be get haunted for life.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens with the cowbell. I'm just saying. Like,
Mm.
what happens if Christopher Walken finds that cowbell SCP? That'd be hilarious.
Also, I've always wondered. They're all the SCPs, right? Every single SCP is in a few. Like they're different facilities, but like they're usually a building will have multiple SCPs, right?
I would assume so.
Sometimes, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. I've always wondered what will happen if all the SCPs in that specific building or something interacted with one another. How would they interact, and what would be the outcome of their interaction?
Well, that would depend. Would they be inanimate object SCPs or living?
Well, yeah.
SCPs?
Say like question. Okay, you probably know about the Plague Doctor, right?
No. I don't know anything about the SCPs except for like the cowbell and the Weeping Angel one, and apparently the coffee maker.
Yeah. Okay. So for those of you who know about the Plague Doctor, imagine what if he put on the Jade Ring? Then what would happen? Would he would the Jade Ring affect him? Would it stay the same? Or what if the Plague Doctor put on the gas mask? Would he? Oh no, not the gas mask. Sorry. What if the Plague Doctor put on the 3D glasses? You know the ones, right, Furry?
Oh yeah, the tree glass. The Plague Doctor, like the
Plague Doctor.
No, like the Doctor, because like the David Tennant Doctor had like 3D specs that let him see invisible objects.
No. We're not talking about Doctor Who.
I couldn't help but make the reference.
There's an SCP that's basically a pair of 3D glasses like you would see in those crappy blue and red holograms.
Well, that's how most of them work, anyways.
Yeah, but okay, so this one will let you see monsters. I mean, what
the invisible ones?
Yeah, and the Plague Doctor is kind of like this mythical being. But my question is, like, what if like one SCP interacted with another? Would the Plague Doctor see the monsters? Would the Plague Doctor be able to interact with the monsters, etc., etc., etc.? You know, that kind of thing really makes me think. And I don't know why no one has like tried to make them work together. I'm like, dang it! I really want to see what happens if one mixed with the other.
There is actually, I believe there is a lore, canon lore. So
you're cutting out for me. Sorry.
Interact with. What? Dang it.
Okay.
Okay. What about now?
Yeah.
What about now?
Yeah.
SCP Civil War.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. So sorry.
What were you saying? History.
Yeah. What were you saying, Furry? Sorry.
There is actual canon lore. Do interact with some of them. One of them being the computer and
the what?
The computer and like the, I forgot what SCP was it, but it was basically like those, like the huge crocodile that is basically has impenetrable skin, not even bullet skin, and he's like one of intelligent. They were basically friends, kind of friends with the computer that doesn't need power and.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I need to look that
and
up
then,
actually.
The one which of the one of the.
Sorry, you're really cutting out, man. 079
game, which you kind of need it to access the facility. It's just that he don't have like those internet connection or that bar with no LAN connectivity with that computer. He can basically all the days just getting more smarter and basically he
You
he
are
basically
cutting
Furry,
out like
yeah,
nobody's business right now.
Yeah,
You're just like
I
every
really
other
cannot.
word is echoed then cut off.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I really cannot understand the thing you're saying. I'm really trying to analyze what you're saying,
I'm
but
picking up bits and pieces, but I
you're
can't make
yeah. I'm
out
sorry.
the full
Your internet is very poor right now. I'm sorry.
okay.
Anyway, yeah,
Now
I'm
see
sorry.
that
but-
came through.
Yeah, that came through, and it's funny because I'm not sure if you picked it up, Bama, but when you're like, "Gosh dang it," it literally cut out when you said "Gosh dang it," so it just "Gosh dang."
Hey, you actually
It-
mimicked it perfectly.
Yeah. No, it was
does-
weird. It was
does
weird
that-
how perfectly it cut out.
Discord
Yeah, Discord.
knows it now. Apparently,
Yeah, does not like me.
Discord's getting smarter.
Yeah. Well,
It's
anyway.
censoring what it doesn't want anyone to hear.
Yeah. Apparently, it doesn't want.
One of the interesting SCPs is the IKEA store.
Oh gosh, the IKEA store. That one scares me.
The what?
There's an IKEA SCP. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, there's basically the IKEA store is okay. In the normal IKEA store, we know that it's it's basically like a maze where you
Yeah.
can't find the exit.
Yeah.
This one is basically
It's
imagine IKEA plus
On steroids.
the maze runner.
Oh gosh, yeah. Basically, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Like to
I
the-
didn't even watch it, but I know that's bad.
Yeah.
The maze runner is, and its worst part is that in every day basically the whole facility is basically like a maze, but it keeps shifting every single
Yeah, it's basically like
time.
Maze Runner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you just stay right next to the exit.
Yeah.
and
You
it's
just
one of
then walk right back
Yeah,
out.
but that's it. No, but
And
that's the
it's
thing
one-
about the thing
I
about the
just came to
SCP.
the IKEA store.
No, but the thing about the SCP is that you don't know it's an SCP because it looks just like any other regular IKEA store. So you don't know till you're already too deep.
and this is one of the most comprehensive SCP because they have a diary. Like there was one guy who actually managed to found the exit, but was killed by the
Employee.
SCP authority.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the authority, and he found he found his journal, and there are
Furry,
people
you're
who are
cutting out
trapped in
again.
the people who are trapping in the IKEA store. Okay, what about now?
A little less, yeah. Go ahead.
When you talk louder, it actually it works.
Discord,
I think
why?
Yeah,
I
this.
think it's the fact that your microphone's just not picking up.
I think so. Yeah. I think it's just your microphone is kind of weird. Cause it's no, it sounds
Okay.
like the words coming through, but then it just cuts off and there's an echo that dies out.
Okay, long story short, I'm just keeping it short then.
Yeah, sorry.
He basically managed to found the exit for like it takes him 3 years, at least 3 years to find the exit. The reason why he managed to survive that long is because there are actually civilization inside in the IKEA store, and the name of the civilization and the name of their town.
Okay, no,
Which
no spoilers, no
by-
spoilers, no spoilers.
Okay, but all I can say is that the town itself is named based on the aisle. For example,
Yeah.
there's one name like trolley. There's one name counter. Something like
Yeah. I said no spoilers, but okay.
that. And of
Anyway.
course, there's a
Furry.
certain
Furry.
mileage. I'm pretty
Furry. No
Fine.
spoilers. Jeez.
fine. Discord, you can censor me now.
No, the thing is, like, I really, like, I encourage whoever's listening to go actually look up the SCP because they deserve all the love they can get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. Go ahead.
I really love how some some artists they actually see trying to make it more of anime weeaboo-ish and
Okay.
see how to just
Moving on.
basically
We're not touching that subject. That's another can of worms.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, sorry. That's coming up in a new episode. Don't worry. Save that for the next episode, okay? Write it down.
A can of worms is coming up in the next episode?
No, we're not going fishing. Don't worry.
We're gonna get some worms. Let me go find a lake. We'll go fishing.
No, I just said no. Anyway.
Debated.
Jabate. Anyway, I want to thank both Furry Scouts and Van Bearer for once again joining me. It was so fun having you guys. And Furry, you have to be on more times, man. But I know your time and your schedule is not very appropriate. It's fine. But it's good to have you back, honestly.
Cut off big time right there, Kat.
Oh, really? Now I'm cutting off?
No.
Oh, gosh.
Just for everyone viewers over here, if you notice that if I ever got in Cat's podcast, you know that I have sleeping issues.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because your schedule is literally like if it's PM here, it's AM there. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, anyway, I want to thank both of you for joining me, and thank you for everyone who's been watching, and thank you for all your support with the series. It's been so much fun giving this to you guys, and I'm sorry I missed the last episode, but thankfully I'll be back, and hopefully the new schedule is not too bad for you guys. If you have any suggestions for next week's topic, you can leave it down in the comments. I'll be happy to check them out, and I'll give my opinion on that. I hope you all have fun, and other than that, hope you have a good night. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.